That was very impressive.
That was great. I'm very impressed. How's your temp gauge looking?
It's fine. I mean, it's up there.
It's up there, she says.
Hey, don't
Let me get a shot.
She up there. She up
Oh,
there.
that's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
You got the AC on?
Look.
You got the AC on?
Hey, we're trying to be comfortable, all right? First of all, no, the trick you told me, the Aussie trick, looked at the sky.
Yep.
It worked. That's the only way I knew where I was, because I saw the top of the building.
Yeah, well, everyone else freaked out and ran away because we couldn't see you.
She did her thing.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. If it wasn't obvious, the 3-rotor RX7 is running better than it ever has ever. I had an awesome time doing a little burnout competition with this car here at the compound, and that was the first time that I was able to drive the car with our new oil cooler, and y'all, that was it. Our oil temps are now staying low. Finally, we were just going crazy before having that be the biggest issue with this car running. Water temps, fine. Oil temps, like at idle, would just start spiking, and oil issues with rotaries is just very, very scary. So Nish got our new Mishimoto oil cooler right here, and she is performing absolutely beautifully. And if a car is going to stay cool in that environment that I just threw this car into for burnouts, like I just kept going and going and going. I don't think I've ever driven this car that hard before, and it was a perfect little shakedown for this. So that is huge, and now we can move forward with actual proper testing, drifting this thing, and that will be coming up very, very soon. So that is a massive, massive update for this car, in addition to finally having a front sway bar on this girl as well. Boom, there she is. Nick had to make this front sway bar. It had to be a custom one made from this universal kit that we found online. So that was on the car as well. I'm really, 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 really hoping that that front sway bar is gonna help us get more grip into the rear of the car. Oh yeah, if you didn't notice already, I went a little ham and kind of destroyed the front bumper. But we have all the pieces. The long piece that goes across right here. Josh, our fiberglass homie, grabbed all of it right when this happened and said he could fix it. So somehow there is no bumper here, but he is going to make a bumper here. I don't know if I'll have that done in time for the test day, so I'll probably end up throwing on my bash bars, which I need to do anyway, but I'm sorry. 3-rotor car. I was just having so much fun. I did not care about this bumper at all. Today is going to be a 3-rotor RX7 day. I am stoked. I've really, really missed this car, and the fact that I was able to drive it as hard as I did this past weekend just makes me so excited for the future. And we have a test day coming up next week that we need to get ready for. This will be the first time that I get to drive this car with more grip in it between our new BC Racing coilovers and the front sway bar that Nick had to fab up on the car. I'm really, really hoping that makes me feel so much better. And if not, we will also be testing out a new tire compound, which brings me to what we are doing today. Your girl's getting bigger shoes. This might sound crazy, but we're gonna be throwing 19s on the rear of this car and most likely the rear of the C6 Corvette as well. Now, I've heard some rumors that there's gonna be people showing up with 315s. That's it. I just wanna throw the fattest Kumo tires that I possibly can on both the C6 Corvette and my 3-rotor car. You know, I know we can still play around with suspension, but I wanna do it on top of tire compound testing now so that I have a more solid game plan going into the competition season. So the fattest Kumo tire that I can throw on both of those cars is going to be their 305, but I have to go up a shoe size to 19s on the rear of both of my cars. So that's gonna change potentially how the car feels. It is a smaller sidewall as well. It's a 30 instead of like a 35 or a 40. So I just gotta see. And that is why we're going to be testing those at this upcoming test day in the 3-rotor car, so then I can apply that to the C6 competition car. Here are my new Heritage wheels. Let's open them up. I just realized these are actually wheels for the Barbie 350Z. So we'll open these later. One of these other boxes will have the 19s in it, and I will find that really quick. All right, these are the right wheels. These are our 19s. I'll zoom out. So these are the Hokkaido wheels by Heritage Wheel. This is actually the very first design model that I had on my 350Z a few years ago. So you guys have probably seen this style amongst a variety of my cars as drift spares. And this is currently the only model that they offer in a 19, but I really think this design is going to look amazing on the Corvette. So hopefully testing goes well, and these would be the wheels that we are running on the car. These are all 19 by 9.5 plus 22. And now I can show you the different tire compounds that I will be testing. Speaking of my other Heritage Hokkaidos, they are right here. And behind them are the wild tire size that I'm going to be running on the car. Now it's crazy looking at a 305 and a 285 and it looking so massive, and then knowing that people are going to be running 315s and clutch kickers. Like that's just crazy. Not everyone is going to be running a tire that crazy, but a few people are, and that is what has motivated me to start exploring more of the Kumo tire lineup, get into some meatier tires, and test them out and see how they do. All right, so here are the 3 different compound on the 3-rotor car. First up is our V730 and a 305 3019. Now the new V730 line is what's going to be replacing their former V720 line. So I don't want to get hooked on this, but there would be enough if I needed them to get through another season of racing. So I still feel like testing these out and any further development on this would still be important, but that's the difference. So the V730 is their brand new high performance compound they'll be using going forward. This is the one that they made in the bigger size, but I have to go up to a 19. So that's why we got our new wheels. This is 305 30 R19, and in the V720 compound in 18, the biggest size that they went up to is 285. So I do want to just get some testing on this, see if I could run 18s and just run a 285, but really realistically, I'll probably end up going with a bigger tire size. Now our third one is my old reliable go-to compound, which is their PS91. And I actually forgot until right now that I was able to order PS91 in a 305/30, same as the V730, if I went up to a 19 as well. So really, between Old Reliable, the compound that I know and have done almost 90% of all of my drifting experience on, I can test that one out in a bigger size. And then I will be testing the V730 out in terms of drifting on it for the very first time. Look how big these tires are. These are some big girl tires, but you know what? I'm ready. So with this one, the 305 PS91, I know that I love that compound. I know how to take care of it to make it last longer, and I know that it has an insane amount of grip. So I know I'm going to be really happy with this. Now, what I have not tested at all is their new V730 compound. I need to be able to at least get 4 laps on this tire without anything happening, especially putting it in that like very drastic condition of drifting. I'm so freaking stoked, and it's just getting me more and more excited to get the 3-rotor car together and on track. Just kidding. Those tires are actually so fat that I need someone to help pry it down on the wheel while I'm like working the pedals of the tire machine in order for it to go on easy. It is a 305. I'm trying to fit a 305 onto a 9.5, so I need some help. But instead of just waiting around for Nick to get back, I'm just gonna go ahead and raise the front of the car. This is just another thing that's been needing to get done. It still rubs the tiniest bit, so I'm gonna hurry up and take care of that. I don't think there's anything more frustrating than this. Nothing. I don't know if it's my cheap sockets or these lug nuts, because this happened to this car at the LZ Invitational as well, and I just had to run with a socket on the lug nut in the rear. So I don't know guys. I've tried getting this out, I cannot. So I found another one. And if this one gets seized, then it's the lug nuts. Hopefully we can just get through this. I haven't even gotten one tire off, you guys, and we're hitting roadblocks. Not cool. I raised the car only about like the width of these two laying next to each other. Now that the car is in the air, you can get a better look at this oil cooler setup. It came with a fan shroud and everything, so those are also wired up and working, and that is why this car did not overheat when I went crazy for the burnout comp. But this is awesome. I'm really glad that we finally figured out where our oil temp issues were coming from. All right, you ready to see what 305 looks like on a 9.5? Look at this baby.
Oh my God.
If you look at it from the
right
side, yeah, if you look at it from the side, you can see how it's kind of like concaving in like that, which is a little concerning. Right now, these are the only wheels though that we have to test out these new compounds, and maybe this will help with the sidewall or cause more issues. So we don't know, but maybe it's to make our sidewall being smaller. It's a 30, which I'm a little nervous about for drifting. and how floaty like my 3-rotor feels. This is why I need help mounting the tires.
That crazy.
Jimmy helped me with this one, and he had like the pry bar in there, pulling it under the lip while it was trying to like go around the machine. It was a whole thing.
I don't know how we're gonna take them off. Ever.
Yeah,
That's the tricky part.
Let's maybe think about that later.
Right.
Our Big Girl tires are mounted, so now we can throw them on the car. I'm gonna start off testing the PS91 compound, since that's a compound I'm already familiar with. We're just going up in tire size. Might need to throw some spacers on, but we'll see what they look like. Wow, these tires actually fill out the car so much better than before. It was like sunk in before, and now it's almost perfect. Like, if anything, I might have to raise the car, which is crazy, but we'll see what it looks like on the ground. This wheel tire size combo on the 3-rotor looks amazing. What do you think, Pete? Pete, you like it? Yeah. What do you think, Riley? Yes, I like the meaty tires. Wow. So what's crazy is that, so this is a 19. What I had on it before was an 18 with the same offset and obviously a much smaller tire. And this just fills it out so much better being 19. Wow, I don't think that I'm gonna have to raise the car at all. I was like jumping on the rear to try and make the suspension settle. Hopefully we don't have any issues driving it. It is kind of close right here. It looks like it should be fine. I love it, y'all. I can't wait till next week. I wanna go give it at least a little bit of stir and see how she feels. I'm just kidding. That was a buzzkill for both you guys and myself. We are completely out of V85. Somebody used the rest of my fuel over the weekend, so I got nothing. I got nothing for this girl to run on. E85 problems. The closest place to get E85 around here is like an hour and a half away. For the past 30 minutes, I've been trying to find an ounce of E85 on the property, and we are completely out. So that's gonna have to wait for the next video with the 3-rotor, or maybe just until next week when we actually do our testing. I'm just as sad as you guys. Now these tires are literally just teasing me. Come on. I love you, Riley. Cheer me up. Cheer me up. Oh. Big sad. Moving on, another thing that I would really love to have done before our test day is ducting on the rear. We finally got a firewall a few months ago, and in order to work on the ducting, I need to first put our old hatch back on. Now luckily this is made out of Lexan, it's not glass or anything, so we should be able to like cut directly in here and then build the ducting off of this. So I want to get this on the car because Cricket from Drift HQ is actually going to be doing all of the ducting for us. So if it's already on the car, that'll make his life a lot easier and get us one step closer to having that done. So this piece already clears our rear mount radiator, which is nice, and it attaches at the top by 4 little bolts, 2 on each side. But I want to have it secure in the back with pins. And I might be able to use that hole right there and maybe drill out another one over here. I got this hardware from Drift HQ. And we're gonna see if we can make it work. So at first I thought I wanted this on the corner, but that's gonna drive my OCD crazy because it's not following this line. So now I'm gonna mount each one like right where this starts to get straight on this side, and then same thing on this side as well. I'm gonna attach this part first, that way I have like a reference to drill the bottom hole to. Latches are on the car, so now that everything is marked up, mostly that center hole, I'm going to take each one off, then file out that center part more, and then put it back on, and then we can start working on our anchor from the bottom, and then just make sure it lines up perfectly to go through that. Is officially back on again. It's becoming a real car once more. This is fully secure now, which is awesome. The only other place that it needs to be secure is on the side with these Zeus fasteners, but I'm gonna have Cricket kind of weld on a bracket for these to go into, and then it'll like pull in each side a little bit. But these fasteners are already on each side. This car just needs a bracket, and then it'll be good to go. Now that this car is running and getting more and more dialed in, I want to just start making her look nicer and piecing her together so that when we are testing, she looks more presentable. And if the upcoming test day, we can have our rear ducting done as well. That is just one more thing to check off the list. So I just wanted to put this hatch on so that it's easier for Cricket to do everything else. We'll just be able to cut straight into this, probably put like 2 panels on each side and maybe call it. We might need some ducting in the rear, but if you can see in there, I already have dimple dies right underneath the fan. So hopefully the air would flow out of those. And then I also have some more gussets at the front there. looks so much better with a hatchback on it. I'm very disappointed that there was no 3-rotor driving today, but hopefully that will be happening in the next few days. Your girl just needs to go pick up some E85. I most likely will be doing a little shakedown here before we go to our full-blown test day at the track next week. But that is it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.